Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Valheim episode. Today I'm taking on the legendary YAGLUTH. YAGLUTH? And he absolutely clapped my cheeks. This was the first time I fought YAGLUTH in the game. Also, take a look at the surroundings. This is my Meadows village so far. I am very, very proud of this. I'm probably still going to get a dislike on this video because I still can't seem to understand. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to bring back that cringy joke. But I was very confused why someone disliked my storage unit build. I don't know. Creativity is an interesting thing. Art is subjective, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but yes, YAGLUTH absolutely kicked my cheeks in. You guys are going to love this video, so stay tuned. Yeah, so maintenance, by the way, is doing some things outside the door, so I don't know if that's gonna pick up on the mic, but hopefully I got the settings right to where it cancels out a little bit of the background noise. But yeah, man, I don't know why I was being so awkward in the first couple videos. At least the motor video was good because I was trying to do some gameplay commentary, but even there, I just don't know why I couldn't find the words to say. But I've been watching a lot of my favorite YouTubers and being inspired again to sort of do this voiceover type thing over my gameplay, and it actually makes it a lot more fun for me because I feel like I can recall a lot of things. And if anyone knows anything about gameplay commentary and doing it, man, I commend the legends out there that I've watched over the years that actually do it, because to be able to commentate and actually focus on the game at the same time, especially if it's a game that has very complex puzzles or things like that, problem solving, it is crazy to multitask. This is why I love being a gamer. It really taught me to multitask over the years, and I don't know, it feels like it made me way more proficient in school. I'm the multitasking king. But yeah, so anyways, what you're seeing in the footage right now is me just, you know, preparing, getting ready to go over to the YAGLUTH shrine. And what's so awesome about this is I built my plains base. I sailed very far because I wanted to get ready to sail to the Ashlands and Mistlands and just sail off in different directions, because I was trying to find Hildur the trader anyway, so I can get the things to farm better, the clothes, the scythe. Well, the scythe comes from the bog witch. And you know what's so awesome about this world? Through exploration, which is one of the things I love about procedural generated games, but Valheim also, is that if you just get out and explore, you will literally just find things. And the 3 traders on this map, I feel like, were some of my best spawns I've ever got in Valheim. Hildur and the YAGLUTH altar were right across where I decided to set up base on a plain/black forest biome right across the water. Then I sailed across because I was like, you know what, I gotta find YAGLUTH. As soon as I sail across, the whole boss altar is right there. Then I'm running through to look for more fueling camps, so I could get the little idols. Thankfully I have the resource thing up. Hey guys, I gotta play, you know, I work outside of this, so you know, the resource increase actually helps. But that's it. No, difficulty's still the same and everything. But I walked up to the meadows finding a fueling camp, and then I see this Black Forest Meadows whatever, and I check my map, and Hildur's on the map, is marked on the map. And this is the same way I found the Bog Witch as well, and that just felt so good when you explore and you just never know what you're gonna find. Because I just trusted my gut, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sail off in this direction where I was originally going from the plains base I set up. And I got to show you guys that plains base in another video, and I think I have done it, because the videos that probably come after this one are going to be a little bit of old footage. But I did these boss fights because I was proud of them and I wanted to get them done, and also show my love for the game because I love Valheim. I still think it's one of the best survival games out there, and I can't wait for the Deep North expansion that's coming. But anyways, we're putting our little, if this is properly lined up with the video, what I'm doing right now is I'm also finding my technique for commentating over games. So I'm doing this unique style while I'm literally, just a little spoiler, I'm watching my footage as I'm recording this. But if it's lined up properly with the video, which that'd be post edit me doing this, right now I'm preparing the boss arena, and I just placed the little idols in the boss altar. I really do love how, you know, Valheim does their boss fights. And the reason is as well is the fact that if you die during a boss fight, the boss still has the same amount of health when you get back. I don't know if there's a timer or some sort of, you know, whatever that the boss health will start healing or whatever it is, but it takes on this world boss sort of mechanics in the game where if you die, you can go back and the boss is still in the same health. I'm so glad, because this was my first attempt at YAGLUTH, and you know, and all the preparation I did, it still got me there, but dude, I was not prepared for what was to come. And I'm not going to spoil it too much. I'm just going to let you guys see when it gets there. But these little fucking black tar... Oh, man, let me tell you. The absolute Apex Legends Fortnite third partying that came from the mobs in the nearby biomes. And this biome and the fuelings wanted to get a piece of my cake, bro. I'm telling you. It was stressful. It was stressful. I was literally laughing. And I wish I had my mic on, but I think during the time that I was doing this boss fight, there was something going on in the background, or I was watching something. I can't remember, which I know, not, you know, not being attentive to the boss fight. No, but I think there was something going on why I didn't have the mic picking up audio, but you would have heard me cracking up, like laughing. And I also think I was talking to my partner at the time. I think she was in the room, and we were talking while I was doing the boss fight. So, you know, I did pretty well, as you will see, for my first time. And I'm like switching weapons the whole time because I'm trying to figure out what this motherfucker is weak to. But you know, I think I did a pretty good job for my first attempt, and everything I had to deal with. But I definitely should have cleared out the mobs around the place, and I was really shitting myself if I was gonna get poked in the ass from the mosquitoes, man. I say mosquitoes, maybe because they mow you down. I'm not sure why I said it like that. Definitely one of the more aesthetically pleasing bosses in the game. I can't wait to see the end bosses. I have consumed a lot of Valheim content as I was going through this like Valheim little hyper fixation. You know, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I think I have the superpower that many of us have. I'm also sorry if you don't perceive it like a superpower, but I'm not sure. I'm undiagnosed, but either that or I'm just a really weirdly spiritual individual. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, back to the aesthetics of the boss. I absolutely love YAGLUTH. I think it was probably one of my favorite bosses to come across. It definitely gave me that Dark Souls, what was the dude with the rings on his arm? That Dark Souls boss aesthetic. What was the boss? Guys, if you remember the boss, please put the name down below. Or if you just, you know, just are watching this video right now and you go, yeah, no, it reminded me of that boss too from Dark Souls. But the skeleton lord with the crown with the rings on his arm. I would swear if YAGLUTH isn't probably some lore accurate, being in Norse mythology, I would have said I definitely know where they got inspiration from. But no, but definitely for sure, even if they did or didn't, YAGLUTH is really cool, you know, shooting beams out his mouth and everything. But I was right. You see, those little tar fuckers were coming into play in this fight, and I handled them well. And I feel like I kited YAGLUTH well, but ooh, I was having a time, trust me, right? And I was trying to use the fire-resistant meads to stand in his fire and chop, but I was just too scared, man. And these meteorites, man, were cooking. And also, a point in time, but I'm not going to say it now, you guys are going to see a couple of status buffs I had that went away that definitely came into play. And if you guys know anything about Valheim, I'm definitely stealing this saying from some other... Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm not. But to paraphrase something that I think Snazzy said, or maybe it was another creator, this game is damn near... It's not unplayable. It's just very trivial when you do not have a certain bonus. And for you more veteran players or just even casual, you know what bonus I'm talking about. That when it goes, it becomes more trivial of a management game on certain stats, certain mechanics. Yeah, it's the rested buff. Man, as the rested buff, that was adding the pressure too. I was staying in a flow state, but I couldn't help but keep turning my eyes to the rested bonus, and I was like, oh yeah, that's ticking down. Getting a little bit concerned with that ticking. Oh man, and as you see, the tar fuckers are doing me in right now. Do you see them? I never thought I could hate tar so much in my life, and they are required for a certain building structure in the game. And trust me, I'm going to make use of their goopy carcasses. Oh, holy moly. Was I getting pushed around, bullied by a bunch of black dots? Another mechanic that is really, really cool in Valheim is sound. So each enemy, entity, or thing that can move and be against you, maybe even the wildlife creatures, but I'm not entirely sure if the passive mobs do have this, they detect when you're making sound in certain areas. So that lovely thing comes to play, because remember, don't know if I said it in this video, but I did say that this bordered a black forest, it borders a mountain, it borders a swamp, and it's a plains. So you could imagine we're on the edge of the ocean, next to the swamp, next to the mountain, next to the black forest. What you could decide, you know, you could probably figure out on your own what decided to come over and take a peek at all the noise being, you know, rained down from the heavens or the hells, wherever YAGLUTH is. He's probably from one of the 9 hells. But you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, you can only imagine what decided to come over here. Just joking. No, if you're thinking a troll, thank God. No, we're not that close to the Black Forest. There's a swamp. So yeah, had your fair share of, you know, ankle biters in the water. You had your fair share of feelings. A wyvern, perhaps? No, no wyverns. No little ice flying, you know, creatures. But definitely had a bunch of leeches. I don't know if there was like a 2-star leech in there that nibbled on my ankles, but oh man, as you guys see, I was just kiting and using YAGLUTH's little fingers, finger stone, whatever, fossilized battle arena to dodge a lot of his things. And I'm sure that most people did this method if you went in using, you know, no cheese and just the normal way to fight him, just straight up in his face. I used range at certain points, but man, this was crazy. Damn, now that I'm looking back at the footage, I hope I didn't cut out a lot of the fuelings hopping in here. Because the fuelings definitely had their part to play. Trust and believe. Yeah, so as you see, YAGLUTH seems to be barfing his little beam cannon, special beam cannon. And yeah, we're just still whittling him down. And I went forward in the footage because, as you guys are hearing my beautiful voice, I'm shooting this post. So I definitely didn't cut out the fuelings coming in here. As you see, a skeleton came over from the swamp. I'm really glad that no Draugr did, but at least my equipment at this point in time could basically one-shot all of the things of the swamp, so I don't really have to worry about that. And would you believe it or not, as I'm rounding these pillars, you guys do realize that there are mosquitoes, like, I don't know, you can't catch it in the footage really because of all of the special effects that may give somebody a seizure going on, that there are mosquitoes that were around. But there's one more thing, if you haven't noticed what's going on, is by this point in time I don't have my rested bonus. I don't know if I didn't even, I think that might have not even realized while I'm watching the footage, but my rested bonus is gone. You hear those little giggling fuckers in the background? They're there, and guess what? It's nighttime. If you know anything about nighttime in this game, oh, the 1-star to 2-star mobs start spawning, and we are in the plains. So I think that I just was slow. I think there were moments where I could committed a lot more. I think my food situation was also low. I think by this point I ran out of potions. I don't know. I tried to be over prepared, but now I'm taking on the fuelings because those gigglers, yeah, they started to come over. I also was trying to manage my boat because I didn't want them to destroy the boat because it had items in the storage section. So stuff got pretty dicey here. I was, you know, trying to fight the fuelings on barely any stamina. Oh man, I was scared. I didn't know where, you know, what's YAGLUTH's, look, I'm even forgetting the name watching the footage because of how my brain was being scrambled trying to manage so many different things. But, you know, YAGLUTH's over there roaring, so we're all good. But, oh man, it was so crazy. I'm getting jumped by fuelings, meteors smack me in my face, health low, stam low, no rested bonus, no stam potions, no power of Eikthyr. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. YAGLUTH laughing in my face. It's mildly insane. Look, another fueling running up. Look at them coming at bro. When I tell you guys, I was scared. Also, I thought YAGLUTH, or they fought him. I thought they were, but you know what clocked to me during this when I realized they don't fight I almost said Eikthyr, is that they have idols of him in their camp. You get the idols, they praise him. They wouldn't even fight him if they wanted to. I forgot this. And I was terrified of this realization because I was like, oh my gosh, let the meteors hit them. But it didn't do anything because they're on the same team, which I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, that is the one time in video games where I do wish that physically made sense. I mean, come on, let's make it accurate now. Come on, Valheim. You have building, you have integrity of building pieces in this game. You know, structural integrity. Let's have meteor integrity. Let these flaming balls of fire from the sky push these fuelings into the fucking ocean. Nope, they're only getting pushed into my face. I'm getting slapped with a face full of heat and a face full of little green goblins running around giggling while their deity that they praise shoots special beam cannons at me. Like I was not having a good time. I was not having the greatest time. I'm not gonna lie though, I whipped out Draugr as you guys see in the video, and I absolutely became Legolas, and I was feeling really, really good. By the way, I shouldn't even be able to say the name Legolas because I haven't consumed any of the content of the Lord of the Rings. Well, listen. I kinda have. But yeah. Look, I like elves. Come on, Legolas is an elf. Like, come on. Anyways, I am trying to take on the last fueling, as you guys see from the footage, and I just decided to keep all this in here because it felt like this was the longest boss fight in my life. But as I go to take on that last fueling, as you guys see, a pair of twins come in, and we got more fuelings. The more the merrier, am I right? Dude, and also by this point in time, I'm just like literally asking myself, like, I'm saying to myself, please don't let this be a scenario. I forgot that the Valheim bosses, when you die, even keep their health bar. So by this point in time, I'm literally saying to myself, please don't let this be a scenario where I get them down to one shot and I don't kill them. Because I don't know, I feel like many gamers have faced this. I am definitely one of the luckiest ones when it comes to this, where I will go down in the last moment. I got a beautiful Borderlands 2 video coming for you guys. I grew up on Borderlands 2, and I think a lot of clips in that video show where this has happened, where I go into fight for your life so many times, just where it absolutely has, like, the mob spawns and the AI interactions with me felt like blessings from above, because I went and fight for your life so many times that I was just like, bro. And it was also because I was kind of trying to not speed run the game. I was enjoying the content and the main story, but I was borderline trying to see how fast I could do the game and how fast it was. Like, did I remember it from when I was a child? Is it the same? And oh my gosh, Borderlands 2 still holds up to this day, man. I can't wait. How are you guys feeling about Borderlands 4, by the way? I been hearing some things. I'm going to talk about it in my Borderlands video, though. Not the Valheim video, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, if any Valheim devs are watching this far and enjoying the video, or any Valheim people, players, mainers, do we call people who made a game mainers? It's a term I'm gonna coin now on this channel, mainers. You mainers out here. You Valheim mainers. If there's any Valheim mainers, hey, I'm talking to you. How do you guys feel about my first time fighting YAGLUTH? I came so close, yet so far. Dude, I was like, what? I was like, no! I really was like, no! I was defeated, bro. You know, I already showed you guys the clip earlier when I died, but we're getting very close to that. What is it called in this story? Man, I remember it from school. Not the denouement. That's like the resolution in the story? Is that where everything comes? Is this like the climax? No, because I guess my climax would be when the fuelings and everything and the tar, well, not the tar little beings, but the fuelings came in to start fighting. That was the climax of the fight. I think this right here was just like the heartbreaking part of the story. I'm not sure, but I don't know what happened. I think I started getting like some sort of battle fatigue, and that's happened to me in Dark Souls also as well. I mean, I'm really good at the Dark Souls games, but I think the fatigue of just loop, you know, you get down. It's like working a 9 to 5. I'm just joking. Some people love their 9. I think a lot of people love their 9 to 5. I think there are just some 9 to 5s that suck the soul out of you. So let's say this. It was like a soul sucking 9 to 5. Also, the 333 popping up when more fuelings came to blow my back out was crazy. Boom. There it is. So with the synchronicity of the angel number and that death, I was heartbroken, but so relieved to find out that the health bar did not reset on the boss. And as I grab my gear and prepare to finish off YAGLUTH, I'm gonna leave you guys with the finale of the battle. And with that, YAGLUTH has been conquered. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I want to also thank everybody who has watched any other of my videos on my channel. Game related, not game related, spiritual related. It's actually been very amazing. I want to end with a message that's, you know, on brand for me, but, you know, universal for everybody and anyone who may be watching this video. First, I want to give a big shout out to the VALHEIM devs. You guys are awesome. I love indie dev teams that go and make a game that they're very passionate about, and the passion shows. And keep doing what you're doing. And that's also a message for everybody. If you're out there, live passionately, live for what you want to do in life. You know, treat others with respect, love yourself, and spread that love. Also, don't sacrifice yourself for anybody else. Like, I tried to give that message a little bit better in one of my last videos, but it was so cringe because I was trying something new. But hey, got to start somewhere. And I'm not really new to this, but I'm giving a new spin on it. But anyways, I really do appreciate everyone who watches any of my videos, and I hope to inspire you to be the best you every day that you can be. And we really do focus on making this world a brighter place. During this whole chapter of my life, it's been interesting. I felt like I've released a lot of emotion as of late. You know, I have a great partner who I'm able to be in the most vulnerable state with, and I wish that for everyone, to find a partner or a friend like that where you can be absolutely vulnerable and just say everything, not have to worry about, you know, putting on any mask. Normally in person I don't really wear a mask anyways. I'm pretty much my authentic self. Even when I'm on LUNARWASLOST, I'm being a bit, you know, just who I am. But, you know, I've something just was weighing heavy on my heart about the state of the world, and seeing, and one channel that I came in contact with through realizing all this was Discover Connection. And it's really why I do what I do on my channel, you know. And I really do feel like the world is more united than all of this propaganda that's pushed out, whether it's a gender war, a race war, this war, that war. I think the soul that's in humans, inside of humanity, speaks louder through times like this. And, you know, I really keep faith that I'm one of those beacons for people that can share my own light so that you awaken your light within yourself and also spread that. Love you guys. Thank you for everything. Even if a video gets 1 view, it doesn't matter to me. I'm living passionately in what I'm doing. I know I'm in my true place. The videos that get, you know, whatever happens, man. I'm just here to enjoy this journey. And I'm grateful for everything that I've been able to accomplish and the connects that I'm able to meet. So, love y'all. Much love in Moonlight. I'll see you in the next one.